Hello, Facebook family.
Hello. We give it a few minutes. Let people get on.
Hope y'all doing all right today. And enjoying this time together in the house. Hey, Miss Sherry. I see you and Steve walking. I got to get out there and do the same thing.
Yes.
All right. You ready to get started, babe?
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, you want me to start?
Oh, well, you know what you do, so I'm follow your lead.
So, first and foremost, we just want to say that our prayers are continuing to be extended to everyone, especially Sister Etta Pete and her family. We have some church members that are going through. We are definitely praying for them also. So let's just continue to keep one another in prayer as we go through this time. And yes, we know God is in control, but it's also very important to be vigilant. So before we get started on our topic, I just want to take just a few moments to talk about some of the things that I've observed in the community. I see people with masks and gloves on, going to the store and grocery shopping, and I need you to think about just a few things. When many people think about this virus, they think only about the mask, but what they don't understand is that touching things can also pass it. Simply because if you touch something and you rub your eye, or you rub your nose, or you pick up some food, eat it, lick your fingers, bite your nails, whatever it may be, that virus, you then have that ability. That and the flu, the common cold, C. diff, there's so many other different viruses out there that we can catch besides just the one we're focusing on, which is why hand washing is definitely important. So when you have those gloves on and you're touching the basket, you're touching door handles, you're touching all these things, and you grab a piece of tissue and wipe your nose, everything on that glove you just put on that tissue, and everything on that tissue has just gone into your nasal mucosa. The most important thing is to wash your hands. The gloves are not going to protect you any more than just having your hands out there. In reference to the mask, we all know that, the N95 is the greatest protection, but we need that as healthcare workers. Right now, we're struggling with equipment and PPE. So please reserve those things for us. And if you're nervous about it, just stay at home. That's my best advice to you, and definitely remain in prayer and understand that God is in control and He knows and sees things that we cannot see. So just continue to stay in prayer, be vigilant. And if you need something or have a question, don't hesitate to text me or give me a call. All right. So we're trusting God and we're looking up. Yeah. Because in the midst of this, there's a lot of emotions that we feel. There are a lot of things that our children are feeling, and we had the opportunity to, listen to our pastor on today. He delivered a phenomenal word. I've been out at different meetings, and the one thing that I can say in communicating with staff, communicating with family, is that when we take our eyes off Him, the nervousness sets in, the anxiety sets in. So it's very important that we continue to look up unto the hills for which cometh our help, because all of our help comes from the Lord. And when we continue to do that, then and only then will we be able to make it through this crisis that we're facing right now. We have not seen the worst yet, and that's not for us to fear, but for us to be vigilant and to be ready. I think it was very sobering looking at the numbers that the governor set forth for us today. And talking with our kids, they're very nervous. They're nervous because mom is out there helping patients. We're currently swabbing at our clinic. We have been this is going to be the second week we're going into it. They're nervous for dad. They're upset. Our son shared with us yesterday that he won't be able to possibly experience 8th grade day. A lot of things as an 8th grader that he was going to be able to experience. It's a possibility he may miss out on that. Our daughter with preparations for the ACT, different things like that. She's not one to indulge in prom and all those things, but just being able to be around her schoolmates and being able to plan for her upcoming junior year has definitely caused some anxiety. So we've basically just been praying with them and helping them to remember that God knows and he sees all things. And ultimately, if we are his, then everything that he's laid out is a part of his plan, no matter how hard it is for us to accept.
I totally 100% confer with that. These are very challenging times, unprecedented times, if you will, because we all find ourselves out of our comfort zones right now. And like she spoke about the kids and stuff, it's very traumatic for them because now their everyday routine has been disrupted as well as ours.
Yeah.
I'm blessed to still be able to go to work. I don't know what's going to happen tomorrow, but for the time being, I have been able to work. I thank God that he is my refuge, and I look to him for guidance and comfort. And I pray for everybody that may not be working right now. I pray that this government stimulus package, whatever they're trying to put together, comes and we have the proper aid and care that we need to sustain what we have and where we are. But at the same time, we normally speak towards family and marriages, so we kind of want to do a little upbeat, because watching the news cycle it's very dim would be a good word.
No, I don't consider it dim.
Well,
but it can definitely be for some people, but it definitely can raise your stress level.
Right.
And that's something that you were saying, just kind of changing the channel.
Right, change the channel a little bit. Walk outside. I found myself spending time outside, enjoying the breeze. It hadn't been the best weather, but it hadn't been the worst weather either.
Yeah.
So take the time out. What I wanted, I had ideas for her and I. They're encouraging us to stay indoors, so make the most of indoors. We finally started getting stuff done that we've been wanting to get done in this house for a while that gets put off to the side. We're addressing it. So we have our little office space. We'll do a date evening in the office space, and then hey, you're gonna be available around 4:30. I'll meet you by over in the den area if you got time, and we go meet me in the den area, and just fun stuff like that.
Yeah.
But also take time out with your kids. If you have young kids, I went and sat down with my son and I did my best. I'm gonna be honest with you all to watch the Fortnite.
He's getting old.
I guess I really am starting because I tried my best. I honestly can't understand the game. Is the screen flashes? It's like a strobe light dead in your face the whole time, and he's just grinning. I'm like, son, how do you even look at this? So she told me I was standing too close to the TV. I don't know, but it hurt my eyes. I gave him about a good 30 seconds of familiarity. Hey, I'm with you, son. Great. I see what you're doing. I gotta go. I was gonna get a headache, but anyway, take time out to really talk to spend with each other.
Yes.
Let's have these conversations that because what I'm learning, a lot of us use jobs as a way of escape.
Yep.
Well, now guess what? There's nowhere to go. We're in the house together now.
Yep.
So
now it's time to deal with those issues.
Deal with them.
Yeah, those issues you've been putting to the side, those issues that you've used, going meet this person or going to this club or that club or meeting this organization, whatever it may be. And when I say club, I'm not talking about nightclub. I mean like organizations that you're a part of. But use this time to fix those things, and at the same token, you have to be able to also give each other time and space. So like there are sometimes I may go in the room, I go with my daughter, we play in our hair, we do different things like that. And it gives him time in the living room to be able to watch or do what he wants to do. My son will go outside and play ball. I'll go out there and watch him. He'll come out there and watch him. We read the word together. We play cards, so there's different things that you can do as a family to really be able to connect during this time, but also give each other the space you need and make sure that you work on those things that you've been putting off. There's a lot of things that, if you look at this, if you step outside and just take the virus out of it, when in my lifetime, have we ever had a time when things were so shut down that we had to be together? like that is sending to me a message in so many different ways, that family is important, connectedness is important, making sure that we love one another is important. Time out for all the foolishness. It's time to put that to the side.
All the devices.
That's right. If you haven't forgiven someone, it's time to forgive them, because people are leaving here quickly, and it's just a shame that it took this virus for some of these things to come to the surface and for us to actually deal with them, So it's very important that we take this time to really connect with one another. And like I said, take care of those things that we've been putting off, Pray with each other.
Tell each other that you
yeah,
love each other.
Yeah.
And mean it. Don't just say it because it sounds good at the moment.
Yeah.
And like I said, have these conversations that you normally wouldn't have, because you had a way of escape, so to speak. You can go to work, you can go outside, do whatever, and you still can do all that. The governor said go outside, so go outside, go take a walk with each other.
Yeah.
Hold hands, whatever, just sit outside. I did that the other day, to sit outside and just thought, enjoyed the day and just looked around, just quiet, and just and just have my little alone time. So, everybody need to have that time with God, but that was my time I spent with him, and it was just, I had peace. Mm-hmm. And, amongst all the stuff going on, and believe me, my heart goes out to the different people, I thank God that we are not a selfish people, because I'm also seeing the good that's coming out of this. How earlier today they was talking about the golf tournament. Well, crowds can't gather, so what they did was took all this food that they were going to have for this tournament and brought it out to the different shelters,
right?
And what they call food challenge areas,
right? And food deserts,
food deserts and stuff. And I thought that was very wonderful. Mm-hmm. So a lot of good is coming out of this. So I thank God that the people have a big heart and are wanting to participate and want to help, but at the same time help responsible.
Yes.
Like she said in the beginning, about the hand washing and everything, I walk in certain stores and stuff, and I find myself and it's odd because we're Louisianians. Mm-hmm. We like to engage each other, hug, shake hands, whatever, and now you're being told you can't do that.
Yeah. And
you can see the awkwardness on people, and somewhat causes stress too at the same time. But be vigilant, listen to the information, pay attention to the information, and do your best to take care of yourself. And watch out for those others too, because it's so much. She frustrated me the other day. She was like, "Okay, you need to wash your hands." I wash my hands. Okay, well, can you help me do this? Okay, no problem. I go grab this thing and pick it up. You need to wash your hands again. Well, look now, this it's frustrating, but this is where we are.
Well, but I think it shows just how often we touch things.
Yeah.
Like, for example, you could be preparing a meal. Okay, and somebody knocks on the door, you stop what you're doing, you grab the door handle, open the door, and then you go back to cutting what you cut. Everything on that door handle just went on whatever it is that you're cutting. So this has caused us to think even deeper. What am I touching? Am I only touching the food when I'm preparing the food, or am I touching other things? Because we're at home, we feel comfortable, so it's just a matter of, just thinking through things. But again, just trust God and be vigilant in all of this. And I think this too has showed the importance of the human touch, because we're so accustomed here to touching and hugging and kissing, and that's our connection to people, to our friends and our family, and my mom came by, and it was just like, it was weird, because I'm used to, just really hugging and loving and everything else, and I'm just like, I want to just kind of stay in my bubble for now, because I know what I'm around at my clinic, at my site, and with the patients that I'm dealing with, and I don't want to put her at risk or my dad at risk, So it's just a matter of us really, thinking through things, and just really making it through this, and being able to stay sane and stay calm through this, because it's hard. It's very emotional. We were out at Abraham's tent, and I was talking with one of the ladies, and she was telling me how great of a job she had, and she was just laid off. She was a waitress, and she dropped tears. I dropped tears, and it's like, there's so much that's being affected. We come in our houses, we have refrigerators full of food, but there are people who have to wait in line to get a plate because everybody's going to clean off these grocery store shelves, but there are a lot of people that don't have the money to do that. So we need to make sure that we're keeping them in prayer, and making sure that we're keeping our thoughts on them also, as we go through this crisis, because it's not just about the virus itself, but how the virus is affecting us from an economic standpoint.
Right.
Things are not going to be the same for a while, and adjusting to that in a sane way. And that's hard. There are times where you're going to shed tears. There's times where you're going to cry. That's okay. But as you're crying, make sure you're crying out to him so that he can relieve that heaviness and that weight that you feel, because it is definitely heavy.
And men, don't feel like you have to carry this weight on your own. I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm the man of this house, and I want to make sure, because right now I'm in survival mode. That's how they have me feeling and thinking right now. I feel like I'm in the hurricane mode. I need to make sure that this is all prepared in the house. We have the sufficient food, water, and whatnot, and I want to make sure that they're safe and protected. But at the same time, don't overstress yourself, and don't just put that much weight on you when you don't have to.
Yeah.
Okay, like the governor said, the stores are going to be open. We have power. We just have to be smart and think out what we're trying to do, so we don't make the careless mistakes when we're going about our day and everything. So again, fellas, your helpmates there, share with her, talk with her how you feel and everything. 'Cause that's what I've been doing. I mean, I'm trying to understand all of this, because I'm not in the medical field. I'm blessed because of her, because she can break everything down, and I'm not the smartest in the room, so she makes me feel like I understand. So I can keep up, because she uses all these fancy medical terms and stuff, and I'm like, yeah. And she see the glaze go over, so she knows she needs to dumb it down a little bit for me. But it's really I told her today. I drove this morning, and normally, you look on the news and there's a tragedy going on somewhere in the world, your heart goes out to them. Oh, we need to pray for those people. And then, like within our own country, okay, California fire, oh, we felt bad. Well, there's a text such and such, this amount of money to this organization to help this cause. And you're like, okay, great. Well, then, Florida, we had the shootings and stuff going on. Hey, text this number to such and such. Boston, we had the bombings. Text this number to Boston Strong, and I'm looking around, the whole entire world is affected right now. There is no text number to such and such to help, because we're all in it together simultaneously. We're all struggling, and it's just like, wow. It was a thought, I'm like, man, everybody's dealing with this. So I just wanted to, like I said, it can be a stressful, anxiety can go up, a lot of panic. Be smart. I feel like the people are trying to do the right things to the best of their knowledge. Proverbs 3:5 says, trust in the Lord and with all your heart, and do not depend on your own understanding. That's my piece. That's my advice to you all. Please read your Bible, pray, spend time with your family, let them know how you feel about them, and just, take it one day at a time. That's all you can do. We're all in this together.
Yes, most definitely. You didn't finish it. Trust in the Lord with all thy heart. Lean not upon your own understanding, and in all your ways acknowledge him, and he shall direct your path. And that's what we have to remember. God is directing our path in this thing, no matter how much we don't understand, because even though I have an understanding of the virus, even speaking with one of the infectious disease doctors yesterday on the phone, he and I were talking back and forth, and there's still so much that we don't understand, and I won't get into it, but because of that, we have to lean on God, and trust God to guide us through this thing, but make sure we're keeping our nucleus strong. So parents, when you're stressed, your children is going to feel your stress.
Exactly.
You know, so if you're happy and you're not stressed out and you're playing games with them, they're going to feel less stressed, you know. So just keep those things in mind. You know, keeping our families together and keeping our families strong through this is ever so important. And make sure you're keeping your marriage strong. Don't argue about petty stuff. Let it go. Enjoy one another. Because just like it says, I think even in James we were reading today,
Yep.
you know, just how precious life is, you know, and it's like a vapor or a mist. It's here and then it's gone, you know, and that's what we have to remember. So we need to cherish every single day with one another, love one another, spend time with each other, and understand that we can have all these plans, but unless God will it,
That's it. God's will.
that's right, you know. So that's imperative. So we pray that you were encouraged today. We look forward to being able to see you all again on next week, God will.
God's will.
Yes. And we may pop in if the shut in goes a little bit deeper, we may pop in during the week also. But I know he's still working and I'm still working on the battlefront, trying to make sure we have testing available in North Lake Charles continuously for our people that need it. So just keep us in prayer. We'll keep you in prayer. And again, if you need anything, don't hesitate to message us. You know, trust God through this thing and make sure that you continue to look up.
That's it. Look up.
All right, y'all.
Good night.
Good night. Be blessed.